What's up, YouTube? My name is Ghrei, and I am here with another challenge video. This time, we're taking on one of my all-time favorite Pokemon games with an unexpected requested challenge. Can I beat Pokemon Firered with just a Deoxys Attack Forme? The idea was requested to me by Crazy Martin. Thanks for the idea, my guy! If you've seen my other videos up to this point, then you already know the rules. Only Deoxys can be used in battle unless a required fight is a double battle. I can catch as many Pokemon as I want and or need to for Dex purposes and HM slaves, and I cannot use any items except held items while in battle. For this run, however, I made sure to enable any Pokemon to be able to learn any HM, and because I've done this for ease of HM slaves, I will not allow Deoxys to learn any HM moves because, come on, some of them are super strong in the right hands, and what hands could be stronger than those of a gosh darn Deoxys Attack Forme? I took on this challenge because I'm genuinely curious about if it's going to be an actual challenge or if it's going to be the Kabuto run up to the Elite Four all over again. Which will it be? Only time will tell. We're diving right in. Without further ado, this is Can You Beat Pokemon Firered with just a Deoxys Attack Forme? Let's begin! We began with my favorite part of any Pokemon game, our rival's nickname. I couldn't wait to meet Ich. We awoke in our good old Pallet Town home and revel in the complete lack of tutorials in the beginning. It's nice for new players, but not for me at this point in my life. We pick some dandelions and good old Oak Tree invites us to a high school reunion. We go into his lab and find out that he really just wanted us to meet up with Ich for the first time. After we grab our space cowboy, Ich immediately wants to fight us. What poor manners. I replaced Charmander with Deoxys, since Blastoise is the most defensive starter available to our rival without being weak to our legendary Psychic type. We battled him and found out that our most powerful move was Wrap. And we also had Nightshade for attacking. Definitely getting rid of that ASAP. We beat our rival, and just before we nearly got two-shot by his Squirtle, no less. Afterwards, we went into town. The store owner, Vincent, asked us to bring Oak's yearbook back to him. We did so, and Oak thanked us by giving us one of his Pokedexes, giving his other one to Ich out of pity. We discovered that our Deoxys had a modest nature, which is true RNG's luck. Modest natures raise your Pokemon's special attack and lower their normal attack, and I believe Deoxys Attack Forme has slightly higher base special attack, if I'm not mistaken. We went on our way with Deoxys and grinded up to level 10 before facing our rival again, so we could learn a new attack. Seems about right. We grinded Deoxys up to level 15 and then learned a new— Are you serious? Why does it learn an attack? No. I am not gonna repeat the Kabuto run with over-leveling, especially now the frickin' Deoxys! We went back to fight our rival at this point, and he began with his Pidgey. We took it out with 2 Wraps, and we shredded his Squirtle with 2 Nightshades. We then went into Pewter City and took on Brock himself, and just spammed Nightshade throughout the entire battle. His Geodude only used Defense Curl, and his Onix kept blasting out Rock Tombs, one of them missing and dealing surprisingly little damage to our Space Cowboy. We grabbed ourselves the Boulder Badge, taught our Deoxys Rock Tomb, no idea how that works, got running shoes, played the most dangerous game with Team Rocket and Mount Moon, obtained Lord Dome's petrified offspring, and popped out of Mount Moon. We taught Space Cowboy Mega Kick and Mega Punch at the move tutors, since I knew it would be extremely helpful to have such hard-hitting moves on our side at this point in the game. We headed straight for our next rival battle, excited to try out our new moves. Ich began with his Pidgeotto, which we easily eviscerated with Rock Tomb. He sent out Rattata next, who got a boop in the snoot with a Pursuit. Then came his Squirtle, who got This Is Spotted into oblivion, and finally came his Abra, which got Saitama punched. We claimed our gold, learned Psychic, helped Bill break his Potara earrings, and received an SS Ann ticket as a reward. Afterwards, we went into Misty's gym and left all the gym trainers in smoldering craters. When we battled Misty, she began with her Staryu. We one-shot it with a Psychic, and her Starmie came out after. We threw down a Falcon, pop! bounce! But it somehow lived it and hit us with a water pulse, which even got the confusion chance. Misty fully healed her Starmie, but RNGesus was a bit kinder to us this turn. We made it past the confusion and blew away her Starmie with a pursuit. We claimed our badge from her and beat the heck out of a Team Rocket member for a TM that we wouldn't really use. We made it to Vermilion City, got a bike voucher, redeemed it for a bike back in Cerulean, caught 9 other kinds of Pokemon, returned to Vermilion, then entered the SS Anne. We ran past all the trainers on the boat and went directly to our rival. Yuck! Began yet again with his Pidgeotto, who we one-shot with a solid Psychic. His Wartortle also fell to our big brain plays, and his Raticate dodged our Mega Punch. He used a Tail Whip in retaliation, and when a pursuit from us put him into the red without killing him, he landed a massive Hyper Fang. Luckily, we finished it off with a Water Pulse, slightly nervous at this point. His last Pokemon was Kadabra though. What? Luckily being enough to take it down for good. We went back to the captain, gave him some Pepto-Bismol, got the HM for Cut, went through Diglett Cave, got the HM for Flash, then went back to Vermilion City to challenge the gym. Lieutenant Surge's gym puzzle was more difficult than his actual Pokemon battle. We one-shot his Voltorb with Mega Punch, and his Pikachu and Raichu each fell to an individual Psychic. We ran directly to Rock Tunnel after claiming our Thunder Badge and made it through the cursed place, coming out in Lavender Town. We went to Celadon City next, where we got tea and gave it to the guards leading to Saffron City before shooing Team Rocket out of the Game Corner's basement. We took on Erica next, who began with her Victory Bell. We accidentally misclicked and used Superpower, getting extremely shocked at the amount of damage it dealt. We dodged its Sunspore and KO'd the Flytrap with another Superpower because why not? Next up came her Tangela, who we one-shot with Psychic, and her final Mon, Vileplume, got Brain Blasted with yet another Psychic, earning us the Rainbow Badge. We traveled to Lavender Town, where we went directly into Lavender Tower and fought our rival again. He began with his Pidgeotto yet again, which was bodied with a Shockwave, and his next Mon was Wartortle, also one-shot with a firm Zap. After that was his Growlithe, who succumbed to defeat due to a Water Pulse. Then came his Execute, who was one-shot with a Psychic. His final Mon, Kadabra, was KO'd by yet another Water Pulse. Afterwards, we put Cubone's mother to peace, drove Team Rocket out of the top of the tower, got the Poke-Flute from Fuji, Shrek'd a Snorlax, and went to Silphco and Saffron City, quickly getting the keycard from Floor 5 and going after our next rival fight on Floor 3. This time, began with his now Pidgeot, which was, who could have guessed, fried with a Shockwave. His next Pokemon was his Blastoise, which he didn't one-shot? We were one-shot ourselves with a bite from it. I need to rethink my life. This was the first fight we'd lost this run. I thought about it and decided to try fighting him again, but using Psychic instead of Shockwave on his Blastoise. This time I had leveled up due to knocking out Pidgeot as well. I hit him with a Psychic, which still only put him into yellow health. He used Bite, and this time we lived on 3 HP? That had to be a low roll in RNG or due to my level up, but either way, it was lucky. We proceeded to sweep the rest of his team. Growlithe fell with one Water Pulse, and both his Alakazam and Execute fall to one Psychic. We head into Giovanni's quarters and prepare for this fight, far more anxious than I was prior, thanks to this close call with our rival. The fight with Giovanni went about as smooth as it could have. He was fully swept. His Nidorino and Nidoqueen being one-shot with Psychics, his Kangaskhan obliterated with a Superpower, and his Rhyhorn KO'd by a single Water Pulse. After that, we went to Sabrina's gym and fought her, and lost to her Alakazam. We just didn't have enough damage to take it out before it could Calm Mind Psychic combo us, and there wasn't any way we were surviving that one. Since we just needed a little bit more power, we decided to take down the Fighting Dojo and then Koga for some levels, and dropped into the Safari Zone to get Surf. We returned the Warden's Teeth to get Strength, and then went and fought Koga himself. His team was nearly a clean sweep. His Coughings and Muck all perished to a single Psychic each. For his Wheezing, I wanted to get fancy, so I went for a Psycho Boost and missed. I prayed for no explosion or self-destruct, and there wasn't. I decided to use Sludge Bomb instead, letting us live in the yellow. Never learning from my mistakes, I used Psycho Boost again, but this time it hit the Wheezing and of course one-shot it. We claimed our badge and went back to Saffron City. We used up all of our rare candy candies to get past that grinding hurdle before facing Sabrina again, and we learned a move I forgot existed, but was happy as heck to see. We went right back to her and KO'd her first 2 Pokemon with a couple Psychics. Her Mr. Mime ate up a Psychic and did nothing with its only chance to contribute to the battle, getting yeeted into the void. Finally came her Alakazam, and I used my now favorite move on it, Hyper Beam. It easily one-shot the Alakazam and got us our Marsh Badge. We immediately headed to Cinnabar Island, got the secret key, and paused. We nearly forgot to revive Lord Dome before we entered the gym. We went to the research lab and did exactly that before entering the gym, beating the quizzes instead of trainers and battling Blaine. His Growlithe, Arcanine, and Ponyta all went down quite easily with 1 Psychic each. His final Pokemon was Rapidash, and, like the derp that I am, I decided to try and end it with a Flourish, which of course backfired. I used Hyper Beam, and the Rapidash lived on a sliver of health. It used Fire Blast on us, and we only lived on a sliver of health. We retaliated with Psychic, and thank goodness Blaine healed up instead of attacking, and we discovered that our Psychic is actually more powerful than Hyper Beam. Go figure. We claimed Blaine's badge and said no to Bill when he asked us to go to the Orange Islands, because you can do that. Then we flew back to Viridian City and kicked down Giovanni's doors and flipped him off while we one-shot every single Pokemon he owned with Psychic, one after another. Rhyhorn after Rhyhorn, Nidoqueen, Nidoking, Dugtrio, none stood a snowball's chance in heck against my Space Cowboy. Giovanni gave us our final badge, the Earth Badge, and disbanded Team Rocket then and there. Now it was time for our penultimate rival battle, and man did I fear this guy's Blastoise. He began with his Pidgeot, which we took down with 1 Shockwave. Next was his Blastoise, which ate a Psychic and went for Rain Dance? I laughed it off, and we finished it off with yet another Psychic. His Growlithe went down with a Psychic, his Execute went down with a Psychic, everybody went down with a Psychic. We finished off the fight with a Hyper Beam on his Alakazam, which absolutely demolished it. With that, our rival began his own league journey, and I took a look at our Space Cowboy. I decided that we would need more firepower, so I grinded up money until I could buy enough tokens to get the TMs for both Thunderbolt and Ice Beam for my Deoxys, since I knew Lorelei, Lance, and our rival would be pained with our current moveset. We sped through Victory Road and emerged at the Indigo Plateau, where we triple-checked to make sure we had everything we'd need. I had grinded up to a pretty decent level while gathering enough money, so I had zero fear going into the Elite Four. Our first opponent in the Elite Four was Lorelei. She started with her Dugong, who was electrocuted to death with a Thunderbolt. Her Lapras got KO'd by another Thunderbolt. Her Cloyster blocked the 3rd Thunderbolt with Protect and got fried with the 4th, and her Slowbro was shocked and knocked with 1 last Thunderbolt. Her Jinx stood no chance against our Hyper Beam, and we ended Lorelei with a clean sweep. Next up was Bruno, whose first Pokemon Onix got turned into a popsicle. His Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee got their minds blown with Psychic, his second Onix was shredded with another Ice Beam, and finally his Machamp was crushed under the weight of our Space Cowboy's Psychic abilities. Then came Agatha, who began the fight with one of her Gengars. We poofed it with a Psychic, and we got her Golbat struck with lightning. We also one-hit KO'd her next Pokemon Arbok with a Psychic, just like her second Gengar, which came soon after. Finally was her Haunter, who we exercised. Oh my Arceus, I should have named Deoxys Mob Psycho! I am ashamed. We finally got to the last member of the Elite Four, Lance the Dragon Master. More like the flying type master. He started off with his Gyarados, which promptly got smoten with Thunderbolt. Then came his Aerodactyl, who was one-shot with an Ice Beam. He sent out his Dragonite next, whose wings should have been too small to let his fat little body get off the ground, but it flew because it didn't care what humans thought. We slayed the monster with an Ice Beam and knocked out his 2 Dragonair the exact same way. Finally, it was time to face our rival, and man was I ready. Sweeping the league under the rug with nothing but your boy Space Cowboy? Yeah, I was feeling good. Began the championship battle with his Pidgeot, who was booty blasted to oblivion with a Thunderbolt. He sent out his Blastoise next, who he KO'd with a Thunderbolt. Wait, I hit Psychic, it didn't kill, oh shit! Okay, now we got his Pidgeot and Blastoise down, just to beat his Arcanine with a Psychic, and his next mon is Alakazam. We'll use a Hyper Beam, try that, good. His next Pokemon is Rhydon. No, it's not. It needs to recharge first, no. Okay, Alakazam down, we have no recharge. One-shot Rhydon with Ice Beam and saved to his Executor. Yes! Yes! We beat the Legion for the final time and had our Space Cowboy inducted into the Hall of Fame for all eternity! So yeah, turns out you can beat Pokemon Firered with just a Deoxys Attack Forme. Thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, bloop the subscribe button, and ding the bell icon for the next challenge. Speaking of, you all need a hint. Okay, the game choice is clear and the Pokemon's evolution is impossible. There are your hints. Y'all are amazing, y'all should feel amazing, and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye!